Oh, righty then. It looks like we are live for another Wednesday Facebook Live. I guess another Tuesday Facebook Live, whatever day of the week it is. It is Wednesday, right? Wednesday Facebook Live. I'm just going to share this really quickly on a couple of my pages. And why I do that, go ahead and say hello. Let me know how many glasses of water you've drank today. That's kind of a random one. Say hello. Let me know how many glasses of water you've drank. Do you say drink or drinking? You know, you're supposed to have at least 8 glasses a day, right? Say hello. Where are you logging in from? You don't even have to say where you're logging in from. Just say hello. And how many glasses of water you've drank today? We'll go with a completely random question. I have 2 quick shares to do with this. And then we're going to jump into today's topic of letting go what you can't control. Letting go what you can't control. We've made it through without any technical difficulty, so that's good. Looks like all the shares are going through. Let's see, just one more, and then we're ready to rock and roll. All right, that's the last one. Cool. Thanks for being patient with that. Let's see who's on here. Riddell, hey, good to see you on here. Marianne, hey, how are you? Carol, hi. Carol, Violet, hello. Violet's at 5 glasses. Carol's a herbal tea type person. Jamie, what's up, Jamie? Good to see you on here. Well, whatever you drink, as long as it's a healthy drink, make sure you drink 8 of them. You're supposed to drink at least 8. I'm a little bit behind on my water consumption, so I'm going to have to pound some water right after this because I tried not to drink too late because I don't want to be up all night peeing. So I have about an hour window left of maximizing my water. So I need to get at least a liter in during that time. Anyways, we didn't come here to talk about water tonight. We came here to talk about letting go of what we can't control. And I want to share with you just a story of this. I think that's a great illustration of how powerful it is. And let me give you some context with first. The reason why this is so important is so often in life we preoccupy so much of our life with trying to control things that are outside of our control. Trying to control what others think, trying to control what others feel, trying to control what others may think of us or how they may feel about us. Trying to control how we feel about how someone somewhere else is doing something, trying to control what our boss does, trying to influence what our kids do, right? There's a lot of emphasis trying to put control the uncontrollable, trying to control what's going to come out of, a politician's mouth or what policies passed and all these types of things. And could one argue that we have some degree of control with it? Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say control. I might suggest a different word like influence. Can we influence those types of things? Yeah, potentially we can. But what we have control of is a whole nother thing. And so we get in this pattern that can be really destructive of trying to control things that are outside of our control. And it's imperative that if you really want to enhance your experience of life, allow for space for more joy, more purpose, more passion, more fulfillment, the great stuff of life, then you're going to have to be willing to let go of what you can't control. And I want to give you a short story as an example of this. The first time I went skydiving, and I say the first time, not because I've gone so many times, I've only gone twice, but the first time I went, it was quite the experience. Not to say the second one wasn't. I'd gathered a group of friends together, and we had all, I think there was 8 or 9 of us, and we'd all gotten ready and picked out a date to go. And one of my friends, there's all this anticipation, right? Everybody was psyching themselves out about, oh man, we're going to jump out of these planes. And I remember one day, 2 of my friends were at the beach and we were looking up at this plane going overhead thinking, gosh, are we really going to jump out from that height? It was just these mind-blowing ideas. One of my friends got himself so worked up that he made himself physically ill and he had to actually call in sick from work, which was really funny. And when he showed up that day, he was green. He was so worked up about it. We get up to the place where you're going to go jump from. And as we're waiting outside to figure out what the next thing is, and everybody's kind of nervous, nobody's really talking much, one of the instructors comes out. And this guy's intense. I mean, he's wearing this white shirt and he's out there and he's talking about going fucking terminal velocity and we're all out there, scared shitless as it is. And then this guy just looks like he's psychotic And all of us look at each other going, God, we don't want to get that guy. I hope I don't get that guy. Well, guess who got that guy as their tandem buddy? Me. And not only that, but guess who got picked to go on the first plane? And not only that, guess who got picked to go first out of the entire group? Me. Before you go up on the plane, you and the instructor have this little run through where they strap you in the harness and they go through everything. And the guy's pulling everything really tight and making sure you're secure on there. And at one point he tells me, he's telling me, okay, you got to get in position like this. You got to really arch up. And he's saying, when you're up there, you got to pay attention. You got to obey my commands. You got to follow along. You got to listen. And then at one point he says to me, listen to me. There is not a fucking thing you can control up there. So you have to stop resisting and you have to let go. And I'm thinking, well, okay, sir, whatever you say, I want to make it from up there down to ground in one piece. We go up on the plane and you get up to, I think it was about 12,500 feet is where we jumped from. There's two people that go solo. And I remember watching these two people jump out of the plane, and they go from, in an instant like that, from being this life-size person to being this little tiny speck that you can barely see floating through the sky, or actually falling through the sky. And then it comes to be my turn. I'll never forget, as he's inching me up to the part where you jump out of the plane, looking over at my friend who's sitting there, and he's got this look in his face, and I'm looking at him, and he's kind of looking at me, and I'm just thinking, God, what in the fuck am I doing right here? And he's got this look like, oh, it's nice knowing you. And there's a little bar up in front of the door, and we're inching up on our knees, right? We're not walking because it's a tiny plane. You can't stand up in it. Get up to the thing and leaning out, and you can just hear the noise. You can feel the wind going by. I'm looking, trying not to look at the ground, but you can't help but look, and everything that is normal size is looking itsy bitsy bit. You can't see buildings. You can't see cars. And I'm holding onto the bar up above. Now, I'm pretty strong. And if I have a grip on something, it's going to take a lot for anybody to pry me away from it. And I got a grip on this thing. I'm looking over at my friend. He's looking at me. I got a grip, and I'm thinking, fuck, what am I doing? This is so stupid. Just so stupid. And the guy's trying to pull my hands off it. I'm not letting go. And then finally he says to me, he says, let go. And I remember his voice saying, there's nothing I can control. I let go, and we go out of the plane, and we do this full somersault in the air that felt like you're going on a roller coaster. Any of you have ever been on a roller coaster and been on one of those loop-de-loops they do where you go down really fast and you go up and you feel almost like, what is it, the G-force pull you back? It felt like that. And once I made it through, and that happened in literally a matter of seconds. And then once I got through that, I hit this blissful place where all of a sudden everything just left, and I let go. I let go of all the things I couldn't control, because here I was. I had to at that point, making that decision, surrender to something else. I had to surrender to trusting in him, the equipment, that God, universe, whomever is going to watch out for me that day, that I was going to make it down. There was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could control. And what ended up being so amazing about that is what I thought I would get is people talk about this adrenaline rush or how intense it was and all these types of things. It wasn't anything like that for me. It was, and still is to this day, one of the most blissful and beautiful experiences I've ever had in my life. Because once I let go of all that I couldn't control, I allowed myself to be fully present to what I was experiencing in that moment. How vibrant the colors were. The sensation of what it felt like to actually be able to fly. Watching this person who's over here fly across the sky and give me a high five because they had control over their bodies and were able to do that. It was, the whole free fall was maybe 40 seconds. But it was 40 seconds where in that 40 seconds, there was no stress. There was no worry. There was no bills to pay, no appointments to keep, no he said, no she said, no I wonder what they're thinking, no gosh, I wonder what this person said, or any of that kind of stuff. It was just experience. And it was absolutely blissful, and it was amazingly beautiful. And if any of you have ever seen the video, and I have it on YouTube, of me doing the first skydive, it's really amazing to watch, because I still to this day look at it. And when I land, they do a quick interview with me at the bottom. and they come up to me. And what is amazing to me about that is I look at my face, and my face has such a sense of peacefulness on it. It's absolute. That's the only thing I have to describe it is this absolute pure peacefulness. And that peacefulness comes from surrendering, from letting go of control. There was nothing. There was no worries. There was none of that. And so the big message here is this: there is countless things in our life that we have zero control over. We have full control over how we respond to those things, but the actual events, things happening, what somebody else is going to think, what somebody else is going to do, all that stuff, we can't control it. But what we can control is our decisions to involve ourselves in it, our responses to it, and a whole host of other things that we have that center around specifically us. If you allow yourself to let go of what you can't control, because imagine these things that you can't control and you're just trying to hold on to it, and think of, make these fists and just try to hold on to that for as long as you can. You can't hold that level of attention, which is why we start to experience stress, anxiety, worry, all those types of things, insomnia. The best times it seems like we worry are before we go to bed at night. But if you let go of it all, you allow yourself that gift, what you're going to be left with is just the freedom to experience, the freedom to take in, the freedom to be present, the freedom to listen without judgment, the freedom to love without rules. You'll just be able to be. So I encourage each and every one of you listening to this. If there's something in life that you find yourself obsessing over, dreading, dwelling over, trying incessantly to control it, even though you know deep down it's out of your control, my challenge to you is to let it go. To let it go and allow yourself to just be present and experience instead. And be open to what comes up. And what you might find is the gift that you get from that experience might be far greater than what you're trying to originally gain from controlling. That's what I have for you today. I hope this was helpful. Does anyone have any questions about this at all? I have time for one quick question. And then, oh shit, how did I do that? Uh-oh. Cancel. Any questions at all about that? Was that helpful? Yes, no?